All right. Welcome to the Pop Culture Corner. Well, welcome to TY's Corner, presented by the Pop Culture Corner. We're here today. I was supposed to be here this morning, but we weren't, because that was my fault. Little technical issue, but that's okay. Today, we are brought to you by Bonk's Bar in Philadelphia. If you're ever in that area and you're craving some seafood, head over, grab some seafood, play some trivia, or do whatever you want. I don't care. But welcome to the show. Guys, we want to welcome some new subscribers today. Coleman XX95. I think that says Sith Lord, Sith One Ord. I don't know. Buffy Angel 2000, Ill Evan, aka Still Evan. And as always, we want to thank the patrons of the show, Keaton Reed Odd, Nick DePalma, and that one, Carlos. Remember to subscribe and welcome. Let's get started. Well, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to TY's Corner. Austin, this is your first time here. How you doing? How you doing today? Oh, you guys are muted still. That's hilarious. You guys, what's going on, guys? We got a big long show today. Got a lot to talk about. Some stuff, make the Batfleck movie. That's trending on Twitter today. In the past month, we've seen a lot going on from the Snyderverse, including release the air cut, restore the Snyderverse, Deathstroke HBOmax, and now make the Batfleck movie. But we're gonna start off with some other stuff, and we'll work our way up. So I was looking last night at the Wrestlemania thing. So they're doing like 2 episodes or something. Two episodes of WrestleMania this year.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So they're doing 2 episodes. I don't know. It's some pirate stuff here. I'm not really. I have no idea what's going on with WrestleMania. I know 2 people in this picture, and one of them is Sasha Banks. The other one, it looks like Edge. I'm not sure if that's really Edge though. I don't know.
No, it's not.
It's definitely Edge, bro. In the corner there.
Wait. Yeah. That is Edge. Oh, wow. That's weird. Yeah.
I didn't know he still wrestled, but anyway.
That man got to be in his 50s by now. I can't believe he's still wrestling. That's crazy.
Which one?
Edge.
And he's on the left-hand side next to the girl with the lip.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
And then you got Bad Bunny on the other end there.
Yeah. They got this looking like a Trump rally here,
right.
with everyone packed on top of each other.
Wow.
First
of all, I can't believe that's flying right now with the whole coronavirus thing going on. Look at these people; they look like sardines. But I gotta give them props, man. Look at that stadium. I can only dream that one day we could sell out a stadium like that. That's insanity. To watch men oiled up and wrestle in tights to sell that many tickets is
people love wrestling, man. People love wrestling.
Yeah, they do.
I used to love wrestling, and I mean, I tasked Austin with like searching up what happened, and so what do you got for like highlights? The Spark Notes, the Spark Notes version.
Right, the Spark Notes. So it looks like I know a lot of people know Rollins. Rollins fought last night, and he lost. That was kind of surprising because I feel like he's always he's like their main thing. So he lost. The other big one was Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny was there. I think he made his.
Who in the God's name is Bad Bunny?
He's a musician. He's from, what is he, Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican.
My God.
Right. So he made his WWE celebrity debut last night. Yeah.
They do that often, though.
Yeah, right. They have these guys come in, and so he won his match. And then the big card of the night, I guess, was Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Sasha, I know Sasha because she was in The Mandalorian and she had that dope fight sequence with Boba Fett. So I was rooting for her. But she lost to Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is, I guess, the new champ now. Okay. And then I guess, like you said, there's going to be another one, a part 2.
Yeah,
you know,
it said Saturday and Sunday, April 10th and 11th, and so that's interesting though. They had so you're saying like the main card was
Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair,
a female driven match, and that's saying something for wrestling, because I mean I know when I watched when I was a kid, when I was younger, like the female matches, like those are the ones where you go get like KFC.
Right. I mean, when I was a kid, that was the only reason I watched. I would purposely, but you're right. That's what they did, like the Diva match, right? That's what they call it, the Diva. Right?
I don't think they call it that.
They don't call it that anymore. But
okay.
This one, I think it was just part of WrestleMania. This was just WrestleMania 37. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, like, you know, it's not like female fighting isn't like when I was growing up, female fighters was like a rarity, right? But with the UFC, we have female champions all over the place. There's just as many female fighters as there are male fighters. So yeah, they should get a big spot within the WWE. It only makes sense.
Totally, yeah. And then John Cena's girl too for the longest time. I don't know. I know they're not together, but you know she's big in the WWE over there. And
right. One of the twins, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I do remember that correctly. Yeah. You know, one of the funniest things I've ever seen in those, that's why I was familiar with the Bad Bunny thing. They brought Snoop Dogg in for one of the WrestleManias, and Snoop he's like 6'3", 140 pounds, and he runs into the ring in a tank top looking like a black ass skeleton, and he takes down this 300-pound, 6'7" monster of a man with ease. Right. And I died laughing. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, I think that's what people love about it, is that entertainment of seeing somebody like Snoop Dogg, you know, in WrestleMania take out a, you know, big like that. You know?
Right.
But yeah, so we'll update you guys tomorrow or something for whatever happens tonight. But I mean, sorry, it's just, I mean, wrestling's just not, I mean, I'll try to like be more fluid about it and like and
right.
A little bit more. There's a huge crowd, there's a huge fan base for wrestling stuff, and definitely don't want to you know, leave them out of anything. So absolutely. I mean, enjoy the second night of WrestleMania. I'm assuming that the second night's going to be the better night. You know, with the like the main event of the WrestleMania, you know, or like the latter half of, you know what I mean. But
yeah.
I mean, moving on, we got so much to talk about today. So I mean, I know something we'll all be happy with is so Black Adam started production the other day, or I think it was a day ago, yesterday, and The Rock celebrated with some tweets, and you know, so The Rock was cast as Black Adam over 13 years ago. So,
but I can't say like a specific timestamp, but I have been hearing that for a long time.
Yeah, so over 13 years ago, the first rumors came out that The Rock would be Black Adam, and you know, that started swirling around, and productions and all the dates were thrown around. It never actually happened. Then the DCEU came around, and people were like, okay, well, this is probably where we'll get it. And even then, I mean, we didn't get it. Now we're not getting it till 2022, 2023. So, I mean, it's been a long time in the making, and you know, I'm happy to see The Rock getting out of there, and he'll finally get his time to upset the DC hierarchy, as he elegantly put it.
the hierarchy of DC is about to change or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But for anyone who doesn't know, you know, Black Adam was the Wizards, or like the you know, the Wizards that you see in Shazam. They were he was their first champion, and it really backfired on them, and they couldn't take the power away from him, so they imprisoned him, and you know, a lot of pent up rage gets built up inside of Black Adam for Shazam or whoever was to become the champion. It doesn't matter if it was Shazam or Justice. the rage would have been there. And
right. Well, he's a very complex character. He has a very deep background. He's very much an anti-hero. He's not a villain by any means. He does what he does in such a radical fashion because he witnessed his people be sold into slavery and all kinds of crazy shit happened. So that's why he acts the way he does. And I'm hoping that they come across this correctly and don't make him so one-dimensional, really, dig into the character that he is.
Yeah.
And it's not like The Rock. It's not like The Rock hasn't been busy over the past 13 years. I mean, the guy's got so much going on. And but Black Adam was always one of those ones that people who are a fan of The Rock, and people who are fans of DC have been waiting for so long. So I feel like, it's got that WandaVision expectation on it already. So if they don't deliver like a good, at least a Shazam esque film, like Shazam wasn't everyone's favorite, but it was not even close to no one's least favorite.
Right.
So
I'm excited to see too, like the introduction. They got Hawkman coming and all these other characters, the Justice Society. Yeah. So that's gonna be cool too to see them. I'm a big fan of Hawkman, from the comics. So like, I really want to see him, done cool in live action. I want to, and plus everything like with his planet and his universe and his people. I think it's fascinating. I think it's a really, really cool storyline. So I'm interested to see what they, how they bring him into everything and all that.
Yeah, right. Definitely. The only problem I have with that is, to my understanding, this movie's timestamp is quite some time ago. So the only problem I have is that chances are we're not going to see these characters going forward, with the exception of Black Adam and maybe Dr. Fate. But like Hawkman and all those other characters that will be involved in this movie, chances are we're not going to see them again unless there's another movie taking place in that time frame.
I mean, and then also too is I think Shazam: Fury of the Gods is also like just about to start filming. So I'm sure, if those two do well, Black Adam and Shazam is the next the next movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if it takes place in. I mean, it'll most likely take place in the Justice League, like the theatrical verse. Like it won't be the Snyderverse, but we as fans can not pretend, but canon is only what you make it to be. So if you want the Snyderverse to be canon, then it will be canon. If you want Justice League to be canon and you live under a rock, then it can be canon for you. That's the way Warner Brothers is looking at it now, which kind of is going to get us into the rest of the topics of today. But I again, final thoughts. I'm excited for Black Adam. I know that The Rock has so much potential, and he's not just this, steroid franchise. He can be a deep actor, and he can explore characters very well. So I'm excited for The Rock and for Black Adam.
Real quick, do you guys think that he's going to try and bring Henry Cavill in at some point, or try and interfere with that? And because he said that he's always wanted to go against that hit, like Henry Cavill's Superman specifically.
Right. I mean, I certainly hope so. If I understand correctly, Henry has no problem with coming back as Superman, but things are awfully complicated, right? There's within WB and the whole DCEU, things aren't exactly set in stone around there. So we said it a million times. We have no idea what the hell they're actually doing over there. I would love to see it, but chances are I might not get that wish.
Right.
But the thing is, the craziest part is, The Rock's manager is his ex-wife, and she also manages Henry Cavill. So it would be in her best interest to get that movie made, right? To get that The Rock and Henry Cavill mashup movie, because it'd be two of her clients and two of her bigger clients, if not the biggest clients. But it also goes to show you like what The Rock is as a person. His ex-wife is his manager,
right?
So it goes to show you that he is just such a lovable guy, and like he's not one of those complete douchebags that you really like, that you worry that your heroes are.
He's way too likable. I said that when we watched Fandom. I don't know if you remember, and they showed us that little trailer thing. I said it was like, the only problem with this casting is one, The Rock can't really do accents. Let's be honest. He's not going to be able to nail a Middle Eastern accent. It's just not happening, but that's okay. And he's way too likable, right? To be, he's not a villain, but he is at the same time, you know, that's the only problem he has. He's too likable.
Yeah.
Well, we shall see. We shall
see.
This is a really quick. Speaking of Henry Cavill, he was in the news so I started seeing Henry Cavill mentioned on Twitter a lot, and I was like, what's going on? I was hoping that we were going to finally hear the words like that it'd be coming back. Turns out that he was being mentioned a lot because he was spotted with some mystery girlfriend that is not known. So like she's not an actress, right? So nobody knows her. So that was what he was in the news for, unfortunately. And it got my hopes up. And I, watched them crash and burn just as quick. So I thought I would do the same to everyone else. So yeah, Henry Cavill, not confirmed to be Superman anymore.
He's got a new spring fling.
So very unfortunate, but good for you, Henry, and good for whoever that woman is.
It's more so good for her. Henry's fine. It's more so good for her. Good going.
Imagine dating Superman.
Imagine that.
Like you go to your mother, you go to your mom or your dad, and you're like, oh, like who you been seeing? What's been going on? Oh, I'm just dating Superman.
Nothing crazy. His name's Kal-El. Was he is he Japanese? What Kal-El is? Where he from China? What is it?
Krypton? You heard of Krypton?
Yes. So, like I said, I was really disappointed. I mean, I love Henry Cavill, and I mean, do you guys watch the Justice? I already know where you are, but Austin, did you watch The Witcher?
I did, yeah, and I played the game, so I really, really love that show. that for me, that's like my Game of Thrones. I never got into Game of Thrones, so like
I think people always forget that like when like Justice, for instance, always says like video game adaptations are trash,
right?
And like
movies.
I think The Witcher absolutely killed it. Like,
The Witcher's by far the best video game adaptation I've. Yeah, probably.
Well, it's really weird you bring that up because now I have said that a million times, but specifically speaking, I'm referring to all the movies we get. But Netflix, with things like Castlevania, The Witcher, I just watched Dota Dragon's Blood the other day. They have Dragon's Dogma on there. They're really nailing this whole video game adaptation like on the head. Like they're really getting it. A lot of it's anime with the exception of The Witcher, but thus far everything I've seen is like really
and
good
even
content.
The Witcher is going to get an anime spin-off too.
Oh, look at that. So there it is.
So Netflix, I think like you said, them and anime, they've nailed that whole. They have they have a samurai show with Lakeith Stanfield, and he's like the show is like the first black samurai, and it's this new anime show.
Okay.
Yeah, Lakeith he's from Atlanta. He's from and he just did Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, like you said, they're Netflix is big in the anime game right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they got the what is it called? Army of the Dead. The anime.
Right. Army.
Right. Yeah, right.
I ended up I reached out to Jay Oliver because he's doing that, and Jay Oliver is one of those guys that's been attached to every like if there's a movie in your top list, like in your the rankings for DC or other typical like some way somehow he worked on it, whether it was second assistant product or like second assistant director, storyboards. Like the guy is been a part of so many good movies, and I would love to just talk to him and like break down like his thought process and the way he gets into these projects and how he's been a part of so many. It seems like, where do you find the time to be a part of every single movie that's ever been made.
Right.
So, yeah, but Jay's a cool guy, and I followed him for a long time, and I'm excited to see what he does with that. And anime, anime is not my thing. So, but I'll even watch the Army of the Dead one to see how it goes.
Right, exactly, yeah.
It's got
I mean, I'm very curious as to how it's gonna go, because typically speaking, anime isn't how do I word this? Anime doesn't typically look like that. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of any anime where the idea or the subject or the style or whatever you want to call it is like Army of the Dead said to be like a bank heist movie in a zombie apocalypse, right? I can't imagine what an anime based off of that would look like, so I'm curious to see what it's gonna be.
I think it's gonna be is there such thing as like Americanized anime?
Of course, that's what Netflix is doing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But is that ever been a thing before?
It's relatively recent.
Is there anything that you could say that I could look at?
Look on Netflix. Basically, any Netflix original anime is that. It's an Americanized anime.
Okay, so I think that's what it would be. If it's gonna fall in line with Army of the Dead and then the Army of the Dead prequel, I would assume that it's not going to be like Japanese, right? Like that would make any sense.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but it could be too, because like the whole cast is like international. I know that. Like I'm pretty sure the other prequel show is like in a different language.
Yeah, that's gonna be like European,
right?
Like but it's gonna also take place there. So where will this anime take place? I guess that really depends on what happens.
Well, for example's sake, that show I had just mentioned, Dota, they this and I've never seen this in any other anime whatsoever. It's very much an Americanized anime in that I've heard every type of accent you could possibly think of, with the exception of Japanese. You know what I mean? That like Scottish, Irish, English, American, you name it, they have it, with the exception of Japanese. But it is an anime, technically speaking, So I would imagine Army of the Dead would be similar in that sense.
Okay, interesting. So Justice, actually, you both of you, I'm a white guy, right? So I wouldn't know how to feel about this, but there's a show on Amazon that's been getting a lot of criticism for like dark, racist violence. It's called Them.
Okay.
So I would encourage you both to check it out and let me know what you think. I don't know what it's being like heavily criticized for really dark, violent racism and like just maybe over the edge. But I don't know what that would. I don't know where the line is really for what is too much. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay.
I thought I did know, but I guess I don't.
I didn't see the criticism. I saw like the previews and stuff for it. I don't know. I kind of stayed away because it looked basically like a ripoff of Us, Jordan Peele's Us.
Okay, yeah, and it's called Them.
And it's called Them. I like as soon as I saw it, I was like, how have I not seen the lawsuit for this yet? But I
didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
What is the premise?
It's basically the same thing. There's like an alternate family evil version type thing.
Right.
But no, I'll check it out for sure. I just kind of stayed away just because it was a rip off of Us. What do I want to?
Right. But, well, I mean, just based off of, I've never actually seen it. I have no idea whatsoever what it is. Never even heard of it up until now. But Django is a movie that is praised on a regular basis, including myself. I love that movie. Everybody praises it. Django. It's an excellent movie. Everybody likes it. Quentin Tarantino can do no wrong. But half of the movie is Leonardo calling Jamie Foxx a nigga, and nobody gave a shit. Oh. So now all of a sudden it's like a problem in them, right? So I don't really understand why people are complaining. It seems people tend to like pick and choose when they want to bitch and complain about things, right? Oh, this show is not okay. But this one is, because I like Jamie Foxx and I like Leonardo DiCaprio, so that's okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to
think like you.
Mend the wounds from what you just said.
Wounds, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, without seeing, like you said, without seeing it, I mean, I don't know what like the intention of the filmmakers are, or like any of that. If like I said, it looks eerily similar to Jordan Peele's Us. But I mean, I think you're right. People like to pick and choose and just kind of like highlight something in the moment if it's if it just goes with the whatever's going around trending or whatever, the cancel whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Right.
So before I move on to because I have a lot of like Snyderverse stuff that I'd like to get into, but
Right.
Justice, I know you had a couple things that you'd like to speak on.
Yeah. Real quick, nothing crazy. I just wanted to get into first of all, the other day we got the announcement of our opening for the Avengers Park in Disney World, which I'm actually really excited for. That's coming June 4th. I've been waiting. We've been hearing about this since the first Avengers movie came out, so I'm really excited that they actually have a actual release date, and I can go check that bad boy out. I'm curious as to what it's gonna actually be like. Yeah, obviously you get some people in costume, whatever the case may be, but typically speaking, these like exhibits or whatever you call them have like games, I guess you would call them, little games and activities and stuff you can do and stuff you can look at. So I'm really curious as to what it would be for an Avengers Park. I'm excited for that. And then as well, I just want to, and now correct me if I'm wrong, because I have no idea if this thing is legit or real or anything. But the other day I was scrolling through Twitter and Instagram, and I got the Monarchverse's upcoming movie slate. I don't think it's real, but I'm very I like it. I like it a lot.
It looks sick, yeah.
Yeah, right. I got really excited, so I was all hyped up. But as I looked at it more, I was like, I don't think this is legit.
What does it include?
I'm looking at it right now. 3 phases. How many movies are here? 14 movies in total.
There's no way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking at its highest.
but like just for the curious mind, what are the just
so the ones the ones that stuck out the most to me is so we'll get some more Godzilla sequels, some Kong sequels, right? Rodan and Mothra will get their own solo movies, but the ones that stood out to me are things like Monster Island, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Destroy All Monsters. That's supposed to be a 2-parter apparently, and then some movie called Varan, and I have no idea who the hell Varan is. I've never heard that name before a day in my life, and I've been watching these monster movies my entire life, so I'm not really sure who that is. But I don't know. I don't know. I got really excited.
It's definitely not real, but
yeah.
but it begs the question, like we had said earlier, or in our showcase shows, could they make an expanded, like a deeply expanded universe, like with Ultraman, with Mechagodzilla, Mecha Ghidorah, all these different characters and stuff. So I'm really interested to see what would come next in this story.
Right. And something that big that stood out to me is that the immediate next movie, so it's exactly this particular one I'm looking at, it stood out to me because it's very similar to what I had said at that showcase review we did, which was that essentially Godzilla versus Kong is the end of their first quote unquote phase, right? And then from here on out, you should try to stray away from Godzilla and or Kong and kind of put the emphasis on other monsters, right? If you're going to make a shared universe, you got to use more than the 2 of them. And that's exactly what this is. Godzilla versus Kong is the end of the first phase, and then the beginning of the next phase is the Rodan movie. So it really stood out to me. I was like, oh, okay, maybe there's some legitimacy to this.
Yeah, sadly no, but
no.
if it was true, I would have known about it, and
right.
And that would have been breaking news, because it would be breaking news because the Snyderverse wasn't greenlit but then they were like, all right, here's 14 monster movies that you're getting. Though. Don't worry.
Yeah. Be a lot of crying.
People would be outraged.
Right.
But
right.
So Avengers Park, which is going to be where?
I believe the first one will be open in Disney World, which is in Florida. It will open in Florida first and then make its way over to California.
And they already got some stuff over in California. I think they got like a Spider-Man thing that like.
Oh, do they?
Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like,
okay,
you have legit Spider-Man swinging some robotic Spider-Man. Like,
cool.
It's so they're doing the same thing over here. But like you said, the first one's gonna open in Florida, the big campus.
Right.
Well, that should be really fun though.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited.
All right, so so this is it's far more than this now. Far more. I'm talking like 115,000 tweets to make the Batfleck movie, right? And I mean, that's pretty impressive. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why it's happening, but it's happening. And that's a lot of people asking for a Batfleck series or movie or project, right? And I wanted to talk a little bit about it because we've talked about it before, what it could be, what it might be, what people are saying it is. So like the Joker and Deathstroke and Batman with like two different storylines, one past storyline, one present storyline converging in the middle, at the end of the series. And would you? I mean, something you would want to see, Austin?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm of the opinion that probably Ben Affleck's my favorite live action, Batman. I'm like the biggest fan of the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns stuff, which is all what he did in Batman versus Superman. Mm-hmm. People were like, "Oh no, he killed," and I was like, "Yes." I think Joe Manganiello mentioned that he it was gonna do like the Arkham Origins fight scene from the video game of Deathstroke and Batman, which was really, really, really cool. Yeah. I think there's an audience for it. Everybody they like the actors that are playing these characters, and these actors really haven't had the time, especially Ben, to do something solo with him.
Right. So what would, because Justice doesn't
133,000, Cameron. Yeah. I just checked.
So 133,000 people are saying to make, to let's get this done and let's get this made.
Right.
So what I'm wondering is, and so all right, so I'll start with this. Zack Snyder's on like a family vacation right now, right? And word on the street is that potentially HBOmax and Warner Brothers want to sit down with him for a future, like let's talk the future, right? Because I think why they haven't released any numbers yet for the Snyder Cut is because they don't want to show us how well it actually did and then not have an announcement to go with it about the future, because people are going to boycott like those 133,000 people that are asking for the Batfleck movie. They're all going to dump the HBOmax app in spite of it, which isn't a good idea, but it doesn't mean that it wouldn't happen, right? People like act irrationally when they don't get what they want. And Zack has gone out and said, don't dump HBOmax, right? Why would he care? If he's going to go to Netflix and start working with them, and he's telling you not to dump the HBOmax app, there's got to be something that we're not seeing right now. Mm-hmm. Right? There's got to be, I feel like they do want to talk about the future, but they're not ready to do it yet because they're still gung-ho on, continuing it their way. And until they're proven otherwise, they're going to try it.
Right. So if I may, first and foremost, generally speaking, about $13 is fair to say for a movie ticket, right? Roughly fair to say it for an example's sake. So I did the numbers, right? I used 133,000 times 13. That's 1.7 million, roughly. that Warner Brothers does not give a shit about $1.7 million at all. That's not even kind of enough for them to go forward with this. They don't care. Like it could trend on Twitter all day, every day. They don't care until they get in the millions. Until that number hits millions, they're not going to do anything about it. They don't care. It's about this. It's not about what the fans want. It's about the dollar, and it's as simple as that.
It did hit the millions. With Restore the Snyderverse
No, I'm talking Batfleck movie specifically.
Well, this is a continuation of the other stuff,
Right. So I guess this would count as the Snyderverse,
Yeah, this is the Snyderverse stuff. So, but people that are coming out of the woodwork to George Kittle, who plays in the NFL, tweeted out to restore the Snyderverse. The guy's a superstar tight end, has no affiliation with anything. Like guys like that are saying, "Oh, continue this. Like, let's go." I mean, it was kind of peer pressured by the culture nerd and Lightcast, but still, he tweeted it out. So there are a lot of people that want to see this universe continue, and I think if you're gonna boast that you're doing the multiverse, why can't you have the Snyderverse exist in the same? Why can't it all be? Why can't we all be happy? The money's there. I know them. Yeah. I know the money's there. I know it's there.
I mean, listen, that's a fair point with the whole multiverse thing. You're 100% correct in that scenario, but I really don't think the money's there. They're looking for $1 billion properties, not hundreds of millions. They want $1 billion properties.
Yeah, Kong versus Godzilla was their number one thing of all time.
Was it?
And
Jesus.
And it didn't. It didn't crash any servers that I know about.
So funny.
The Snyderverse crashed servers across the world for days. And you're telling me that Godzilla vs. Kong is deemed successful, and they'll release those numbers, but they won't show you how the Snyder Cut did. They're waiting for it to like go away naturally. It's not going to go away.
I mean, I think the money's there for sure. The money's there. Because the more people I talk to, the more people is like, look, they're cool with having like they would see a Batfleck movie, whatever, they would see whatever, and then still go see, Shazam, Fury of the Gods or whatever, and whatever they're continuing to try to do. Like, they're totally cool, especially if that Flash movie is going to be the opening point for the multiverse or whatever. I think probably, I think Warner Brothers is just, it's one of those things like, it can backfire anyway. If they go the direction that the fans want, and say it doesn't turn out good or whatever, it doesn't go, then they're going to get shit for listening to the fans and doing what they want, If they do, they're going to get shit for not doing it in the first place, So they're in a position where they're going to get shit on.
It's kind of anyway. Regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless. So why care? That if that's the case, then go for broke, release it, right? Because if you don't, so if that's the case, right, regardless, you're going to get shit no matter what you do, right? If you don't, well, you stand to lose money. If you do, well, you stand to make some money. So in that scenario, why not do it, right? Why not? I think a big part of it, because what's her face, and whatever her name is, said it in that article, Smirnoff, thank you, Smirnoff, they said something along the lines of, we're not going to keep doing these things for fans just because they demanded on Twitter, right? They're not going to keep doing it because it's quote unquote giving them power or whatever nonsense, silly thing they said. So I think that's a big part of it too, as to why they won't actually go ahead and do it, because then they feel like, oh, well, now we're getting pushed around and now we look like we're weak or whatever the stupid thing they're saying is. You know what I mean?
Well, and on top of it too, making these decisions are executives, and not somebody who loves comic books like Jim Lee or something, so like they haven't separated the studios yet.
Do you think that as a consumer, you're paying for these projects to be made, right? You are, so you're not a stockholder, you're a stakeholder, right? So you have a stake in this company because you pay for it to exist. Do you feel like you have the right to know how something did? right? Box office numbers, how a movie does in the theaters is public information, right? How a movie does in home video release is public information. However, with the Snyder Cut, and then usually, typically, sometimes, like with Kong, look, they're out there showing us, hey, look at this, it did so well.
Yeah, right.
Or Wonder Woman 1984, look, it did so well. But then the Snyder Cut, they're like, yeah, we're not going to show you if it did bad or if it did good or nothing. We're not.
Right.
Don't ask for it again. So, do you think that that's fair as a stakeholder that you pay for the projects, right? You pay for Warner Brothers. You pay their bills, basically, right? $14.99 comes out of my account every month, and then I go buy Blu-rays or I go see these movies in theaters, yada yada yada. So I have a direct stake in what happens or how things do. So what do you think? Do you think we have the right to know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. No. Do you go when you go buy a pack of M&Ms at the store? Do you have a right to know how M&Ms are doing as a whole company? No, you don't.
You do.
Just because you buy something that
yes,
I don't think that's how that works.
Yes, you do. It's a publicly traded company. You can definitely see.
And I would say too, the investment into the, like, this isn't like, you know, like an M&M, you know, like the people like are invested in these characters. They don't just have like comic books and action figures, and they have like people make, you know, spend thousands of dollars on, you know, mint era edition cut. Like, I think it's more, you know, it's more than just like, I don't know, like that just comparison of an M&M. Like, the investment is much more than just like, I'm just buying a bag or buying it and getting rid of it. Like no, I have all my DC movies, you know, a collection in a special space. Like, you know, I have all my DC comics, you know. And so, yeah, I think when you have consumers that are like that, yeah, I think absolutely the company, you know, should be, if they care about their consumers, if they care about, you know, how much, you know, if they're going to do well or not in the future, you know, then I think they should definitely be transparent about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But I think the difference being, just real quick to wrap, the difference being is they should, but do you have the right? Do you have any leverage to be like, hey, you need to give me this information? No. They can tell you no. You know what I mean? And that's where I was going with
the only leverage you could is like if the DC community was like, we're not gonna buy comics, watch your movies, or, you know, right, exactly. And that would be a pretty hard thing to, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But I do think we have some sort of, like, I think that they should be pretty transparent with how, especially since, like, for Godzilla vs. Kong, whatever, you don't want to show me how it did, I already know, like, whatever, you know what I mean? I wouldn't really lose sleep over it, but for the Snyder Cut, it was such a fan-driven project that I did want to know. I wanted to know, is it just us watching it? Because Warner Brothers is saying to us, it was just you guys that watched it. But the data suggests otherwise.
Right.
The data suggests that a lot of, like, it broke several records, but then you're telling me that it was just the fan base that watched it? No one outside the fan base watched it?
What data? What data? Because we were just talking about how they didn't give us any data.
There are so they'll take 2 million people and they'll survey it, average it out, and so we have data like that.
Okay.
We don't have like the numbers.
Right. Okay. Right.
So, but
I mean, in general, I like to get those numbers because I'm curious to see. I get it, right? Something you're really passionate about, and it isn't like, for example's sake, for me, let me think of a show that I watched that's like, I like a lot, but isn't that crazy popular with everybody else, right? Like not everybody and their mother is watching it, but I'm really into it. So I would like to see how it's doing. I guess Godzilla versus Kong works for that. Not everybody and their mother is going to watch Godzilla versus Kong, but I like Godzilla versus Kong. So I would like to see how the numbers are doing. How did it do? Did everybody like it, or did everybody hate it, or who went to go see it? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I think in general, I would like those numbers.
Yeah, I think too, like even with Godzilla versus Kong, you know, that got the benefit of being in theaters, you know, where it was. And I think it made like
it's killing it still.
Yeah, that's killing it, you know. So that one is like we know, okay, people are seeing that, you know, and it also kind of makes me wonder, you know, too. They're so close. Why didn't they just go ahead and put Zack Snyder's thing in theaters too? You know.
I would have liked to see that in theaters. It would have been cool to see that on a big screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was only 15 days difference. It's not like, you know.
Right.
I think if they would have done that too, though, Warner Brothers knows they probably would have gotten same numbers as Godzilla versus Kong.
Absolutely. And, you know, the argument stands for both sides. I've said this about the Snyder Cut, but it also stands for Godzilla versus Kong. A lack of content due to Corona is a big reason why these numbers are so high. I don't think Godzilla versus Kong would be killing it the way it is if this was a normal year where we were getting plenty of content. I don't think it would be that crazy. Yeah, they do all right, but I don't think it would be the crazy numbers that it is right now.
Imagine you went to a movie theater right now, right? And you just saw that Godzilla vs. Kong was playing on 5 screens. And on the other 5 screens, it was Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? Those are the only 2 movies playing. That would be so bizarre. But that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be a good look. That'd be a good look for Warner Brothers. It really would be.
Yeah, they're selling out the theater. They got the whole theater to themselves.
Yeah. And they'd be talk about and you're saying there's no money in it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Look, dude. I've said it. I've watched other people that I know also aren't into it also say it. Justice League was good, but it's not great. It's not mind blowing, and I don't think it's enough to change the whole flow of currents that the way it was going beforehand. You know what I mean? Because the wave was, oh, nobody likes it, and then Justice League came out and they're like, oh, this is pretty good. I actually like this. I don't think that's enough to change the general idea of that these aren't very good. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. I have no idea what you mean.
Well,
how was that not clear?
Just to say this, because I know people who like not only hated Justice League, but like before they were giving Zack Snyder a lot of crap before the movie came out. You know, just saying like it's gonna be the same thing, blah blah blah. Yeah. A lot of those people came back for, I don't know. I'm hearing more of I'm hearing more than it's just good. I'm hearing like, no, this is great. Like this is, and I think people are seeing. They're getting now. Like Zack was. I mean, he wrote this in 2016 or whatever. I mean, he basically wrote Endgame 4 years or 3 years before they did it. You know, and in my opinion, I think people are like, they're getting that now. Okay, Zack was kind of ahead of the curve. He was like doing things completely different, and like now that they're understanding that, I think they're seeing the greatness. I don't know. I think I hear more than it's like just good. The critics gave it like, I know it's got like 75% or whatever, but the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is like 95% or something like that. It's like that's more than just like, oh, it's good. Like people were like, I think it did do what it was gonna do, and like change, you know, the course of how things were gonna go. And obviously, it's just now Warner Brothers won't restore it.
my best friend from like growing up, right? So or one of them, when we were at my mother's funeral, we were outside just talking, and he looked at me, and I was like, oh, what'd you think about Zack Snyder's Justice League? And he was like, well, if the first one was a turd, this is a polished turd. And I just like, we literally got in like an argument about it, and I'm gonna have him join us because like at least Justice will have someone on his side.
Most people are on my side. That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I keep bringing up. I'm not the minority. I'm not. Most people don't like this Snyder Cut stuff. And that's what I keep trying to bring up and remind people is that most people still don't like this. That's why Warner Brothers doesn't care about it. That's why they're not putting any effort into it. That's why they're not restoring it. Again, you're right. If they're going to boast about this whole multiverse thing, then by all means, there's no excuse for not doing it if that's your intentions anyways. But as far as outside of the multiverse and just filmmaking in general, DCEU in general, I perfectly understand why they stepped away from it.
Okay, so if we all right, so if what you're saying is we are the minority in the sense that they want there's more people out there that want Warner Brothers to continue doing what they did.
Most people don't like Zack Snyder's DCEU.
Right? So why every day when normal people see that restore the Snyderverse is trending, why don't we see that don't restore the Snyderverse is
because nobody cares. Because nobody cares. Why would they fight it? Why would they go out of their way to argue it?
That is not how the internet works, and you know it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
The internet breeds chaos. So if there are people wanting something, there's just as many people not wanting it, right? So why aren't we seeing that reflected?
Because they don't care. Because they don't care. They're not going to go out of their way to fight it.
Yes,
they don't care.
They are. They're going out of their way to comment on YouTube videos. Don't tell me they wouldn't go out of their way to trend. Literally, there are people that comment on YouTube videos like, you're a trash person, kill yourself. Yes, there are people out there that can't, the internet is full of people who want to voice their opinions.
Well, I mean,
if there's 113,000 people who want Ben Affleck's Batman, why aren't we seeing the 113,000 people that don't?
Well, so from what I can tell anyways, every Snyder fan there is on this planet congregates all on Twitter, from what I can tell, because on any other social media platform, I don't ever hear anything about the Snyder Cut whatsoever. When Justice League came out, I saw a couple of videos on YouTube, but that was about it. Facebook, Instagram, nobody's talking about Snyder Cut. That's strictly on Twitter. That's it. So I don't know. I guess people just don't argue it. They don't care enough, I would imagine.
I think
I have to healthily disagree with you. Right. I think that they're because there's this thing they call it the Snyder cult, right? Instead of the Snyder cut. They'll say that
it's so dramatic.
Yeah, again, proving my point. There are people that why aren't we hearing don't restore the Snyderverse from those people that are out there saying, like, they'll post something and then they'll post something and then say the Snyder cult found me. Like that was like something that was going around for a while. Right?
I remember seeing that.
The Snyder cult found me.
Right. If somebody was like said anything remotely like
So if they were like, I don't like Zack Snyder, they knew for a fact.
Right.
So it was like I don't like, and then they would at Zack Snyder. Of course, people that love Zack Snyder are going to see that, so they would attack them. And then this whole thing came out of it was like the Snyder cult found me. And it was like, you attacked them publicly, and then they came back at you.
Right.
It's you're pretty much baiting an argument, right? You're baiting it. You're tagging Zack Snyder and saying really, really unhealthy things about his family. And then so with with your point that they're not out there, I disagree because I've seen it. I've seen like you see the ones that are out there like really they'll say nasty, disgusting things about his daughter or him, and
of course that kind of stuff happens. But I'm not talking that is a very, very small group of people. Most people aren't that cynical. Most people aren't out here trying to like break this man's heart simply because they don't like his movies. That's called a troll. That's a textbook definition of a troll. He simply does it to get a reaction out of people. That's all that is. We always have those. The internet, baby.
Like this one. oh, the Snyder Cult found me. And then there's a picture of SpongeBob.
Yeah. I was gonna say it. the SpongeBob. I was gonna say it. That's funny.
I love that one. I love that meme. That's funny. I love it.
I used it the other day. Check out our Bethesda video I just put out. I used that meme in it. Check that out. Shameless plug.
The other corner is saying, the Jody guy. Jack would know what he says. I can't remember. I don't pay enough attention. Well, listen. Would you be mad? Would you be mad if they made a Batfleck series on HBOmax? Would you watch it?
Me?
Yeah, of course you'd watch it, right? Yeah.
Would I watch it? Yeah, I have to. I have an obligation. I knew for a fact Suicide Squad was going to be bad. I knew Suicide Squad was going to be bad going into it. I still paid money to go see it. I have an obligation. I have to.
Yes, that one.
Build the devil gates. Yeah, there you go, Jack.
But I'm still laughing about I keep picturing SpongeBob like
chicken.
Yeah. But like but that final scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League, the tension between the Joker and Batman. Like I would like to see that in a series. Like I think Jared Leto really honed in on like how the Joker should have been portrayed the whole time. And I really would. I would like to explore that more. But I also want Robert Pattinson's Batman. You know what I mean? I also want Ta-Nehisi Coates as Superman. Whatever they're doing.
You know, it's this. I see like this constant argument, like who's, especially on Twitter, who's the best Batman and who's that. For me, I really like. I can't say that they're necessary. Like Christian Bale's Batman is so significantly different than Ben Affleck Batman or than Michael
by
Keaton
every sense. You know? Right, absolutely.
Each of these directors and actors, you know, they drew from different comics and different characters and iterations and stuff.
Right.
So for me, it's hard to say. Like, I think Christian Bale is a great version of like that version of Batman that he plays. Excellent, you know. But they don't like he does. Like, it's hard for me to compare that Batman and Ben's. You know, like they're just so different ends. You know.
I just like this comment.
Right.
So
right.
No, but if Ta-Nehisi Coates and J.J. Abrams did a like an Earth 2 Superman, I'd be okay with that. But as long as Henry Cavill stays Superman, and then they do like a secondary Superman, like a black Superman, that'd be cool with me. But it has to be on Earth 2 or Earth, you know, a billion.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
all good with the black Superman. I just don't give it to JJ, please. Please don't give it to JJ.
Really? You don't like JJ? You don't like JJ? Really?
Yeah, I guess that's my second hot take. My first hot take yesterday was that Steven Spielberg should have quit 10 years or 20 years ago. But
You're not.
I just JJ.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, honestly, I can't even wrap my head around what a Superman J.J. Abrams movie would look like.
It's gonna be
a lot of light flares.
It's gonna be your Superman, so get ready for it, Justice. It's gonna be. You're gonna be like this is the way Superman should be because he smiles the whole time.
I don't even like Superman like that. I don't give two shits about Superman. He's not that important to me. I care about Batman.
Look at him smiling while he saves the day. That's Superman. That's you. I know that's you. You're gonna be like, this is the greatest.
Superman's the Boy Scout. Is that not
this is the greatest thing I've ever seen? Well, speaking of dark
Superman's the Boy Scout.
Right.
Speaking of dark takes.
Dark Side?
No. John Walker.
No.
John Walker. God.
Oh.
So I wrote this down because I wanted to say it the way I wrote it. So, Justice, are you sure you want to hear this?
I was gonna say it. No, I don't actually, because wait, are we talking significant spoilers? You know what I consider a spoiler. Yeah? All right, I'll see you guys in. Give me how long are you talking? You're gonna be on this subject. I'll step away for a minute. You guys talk this subject. I'll come back.
No, just stay
10
here.
minutes.
I'll wait then. I'll wait till then.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, please do, because I don't want to. I'm way behind on that shit. Way behind.
You really should catch up. Like I'd say even tonight, because it truly was like I was here sitting on the couch and for once, for a Marvel property, I immediately got on the computer and was like, Jeffrey, so I'm coming in. I'm knocking. I need you to come back now, because I need. There's one scene in particular where I was like, "Ooh, they went there. They finally did it. They finally done did it." And they showed a very dark comparison between good and evil. And whew, my lord.
Yeah.
But,
wait until I'm done.
So there is something else though. JusticeCon. Pun intended, justice is down here, right here.
Don't.
So JusticeCon 2021 will feature. So Zack Snyder showed this.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, he tweeted out this poster for it. The Nerd Queens and Wonder Meg. This is their fan made convention that they started last year, and it really did popular amongst fans. So
I like the art a lot. It's really good.
It's back again this year, April 16th to the 18th. And, it's going to be a mix between, Justice League and Army of the Dead. Talking, it really is Zack Snyder based. It's really heavily featured around Zack Snyder. So he's going to be there. I would assume Deborah's going to be there. I know there's going to be panels hosted by Dave the Film Junkie, Wonder Meg, Nana and Cole. And some other people, maybe I forget if Anthony's doing one or ACS is doing one, but I would advise you to tune in. It seems like it's going to be a good time, and I think this, 10 years from now, I think it could be still going on. So, JusticeCon, I think they started something good here, and I'm excited to, see where it goes this year, and hopefully, maybe one day we'll get to host a panel.
There we go.
Yeah. So, but Zack Snyder's gonna have 2 panels, I think.
Right.
I can't remember. Did they say Dave Bautista was gonna be there?
Yeah, Dave's gonna be there, and Joe. They got Dave and Joe.
Oh, Mangiello. So yeah, they got a good roster this year.
Yeah.
Last year they famously had Ray Fisher. Right. That was like the first time Ray Fisher publicly spoke about what happened.
Right.
On set of the original. Well, not the original, but the secondary
theatrical
Justice League. So, where could it go this year? What's Joe Mangiello going to talk about? Like, are we going to get some announcements? Who knows? I don't know. But I do have to use the bathroom real quick. So, you had something. So let's
talk monkeys.
Yeah, let's
talk monkeys.
All right. So we have one random topic, and this is one I like. So
hurry back.
I'm gonna let Austin open it up.
Cool. Yeah. So looking on the internet, and being over here in Las Vegas, we're close to Elon Musk and all his fun shenanigans over in California. So he's I knew he'd been building this he's building all these tunnels and all this other crazy stuff. But I saw, and it's funny, I saw it originally it was a video, and it was this monkey playing the game Pawn, but like no joystick, no anything, and the video is like, this monkey's playing a video game with his mind, and I'm like, this is bullshit. I was gonna keep, and then it's like Elon Musk, and I'm like, oh god, it's real. So yeah, I look it up, and Elon Musk somehow got he installed two Neuralink chips into these monkeys' brains, and like over the course of the past few weeks, they got the monkey to sit there and play Pawn, right, with the joystick, and he got used to it and started learning it and everything. And the Neuralink, meantime, is like reading his brain waves. It's reading like, how excited he gets. If determining where it's all this crazy information. And then by the end of it, he just lets the joystick go, and it's just playing Pawn like with his mind. So I guess Elon is basically trying to create the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, man, I've heard about that. We talked about this off camera, but right. I spelled villain wrong. So I've heard about that Neuralink thing. What the hell? Did I do it again? I heard about that Neuralink thing, but I thought it was just nonsense, right? I thought people were just, oh, hey, they're just kind of talking out of their ass, right, for the sake of I don't know what, to stir up problems, I guess. I don't know. But hearing about that makes me and I read a bit of that article that you sent me, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's unnerving. It doesn't make me comfortable. I'm not happy about it. I couldn't possibly imagine why you would be happy about it. I mean, literally every person on the planet, scientists, non-fiction writers, fiction writers, everybody and their mother has
Terminator
told us, if you keep this shit up, something bad will happen. Yet they keep doing it, and I don't understand why. I do know why. It's because they don't care. They want to know if it's true, right? He doesn't give a shit. He'll be fine. He will.
I mean,
he doesn't care.
He said, Elon says, that at the end of the day, what this would be able to do is like somebody, who's a paraplegic or, can't feel certain parts of their body, that this would be able to reconnect them to that or whatever. They would be able to walk again. So I guess that's the benefit of it, right? But you can't. It's one of those things you can't always tell. Like, is that really the intention of this guy here? Does he want to?
Yeah, exactly. My point exactly. That's the selling point. That's the part where they confuse Congress and make the government go, "Oh, okay, now all right, we'll let you do that because it's for the sake of helping people." In all actuality, building an army of gun-toting monkeys in the background.
Yeah, we got Caesar in the background here, raising up like.
Right, you're not slick. I know what you're up to. Look at that face. You trust that face? I don't. He looks like a movie villain. I don't trust him. I'm good. I'm not stupid. I know what you're up to, little bastard. I'm not stupid. I know what they're doing. I know what you're trying to do. I'm not dumb. You put the Neuralink. Stop it.
Yeah, man. I mean, and also a part of me was kind of like, bro, what do you think? Like,
why?
Do you think the monkey's probably going through? He's probably like. He's probably thinking
that poor man.
Yeah, man. I don't know about that.
So it's like, okay, all right. So it will help a paraplegic or an Alzheimer's victim or a dementia victim, whatever. It will help them.
Right.
But all right, cool. But what about guys like us? When I know Apple's gonna try to sell it to us, right? Why? Right? Oh, well, now you don't have to type on your phone anymore. It's directly to your head. You'll never mix the text message again. What about when I'm trying to ignore this one? He's calling me. I'm trying to ignore him, but I can't because the fucking chip is in my head, and now I have to answer. Now I got no more excuses. What then? Right? No, you can't put a chip in my head.
Do you want to watch it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes, please.
Oh, wait. I didn't share the audio. One sec. Because originally I was just going to do the article, but there's an actual video, so.
Imagine that. Quite literally living a science fiction movie at this point.
Right, yeah.
It's insane.
This is Pager.
This literally looks like a scene from Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Look at this.
It really does, too.
6 weeks ago. If you look carefully, you can see that the fur on his head hasn't quite fully grown back yet. He's learned to interact with a computer for a tasty banana smoothie delivered through a straw. We can interact with the Neuralinks simply by pairing them to an iPhone.
Oh my God.
Just as you might pair your phone to a Bluetooth speaker.
See, I told you Apple's going to try to sell it to us. I told you.
Links record from more than 2,000 electrodes implanted in the regions of Pager's motor cortex that coordinate hand and arm movements. Neurons in this region modulate their activity with intended hand movement. For example, some might become more active when he moves his hand up, and others when he moves it to the right.
But so far...
By recording from many neurons and feeding their activity into a decoder algorithm, we are able to predict Pager's intended hand movements in real time. First, we calibrate the decoder by recording neural activity as Pager uses the joystick to move a cursor to targets presented on the screen. As he's playing this game, we are wirelessly streaming in real time the firing rates from thousands of neurons to a computer. Using these data, we calibrate the decoder by mathematically modeling the relationship between patterns of neural activity and the different joystick movements they produce. After only a few minutes of calibration, we can use the output from the decoder to move the cursor instead of the joystick. Paige still moves the joystick out of habit, but as you can see, it's unplugged. He's controlling the cursor entirely with decoded Neuralink.
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh no.
Our goal is to enable a person with paralysis to use a computer or phone with their brain activity alone. Because they wouldn't be able to move a joystick, they would calibrate the decoder by imagining hand movements to targets.
But is he
One of the things the
controlling?
Neuralinks allow Pager to do is to play
no
his
hand
favorite
anymore.
video game.
No,
Pong.
there's no.
Yeah,
no
he's
joy
doing
to
it
anymore.
through his
his
mind.
paddle on
Holy
the right
God.
side of the screen. Pager simply thinks about moving his hand
So-
up or down.
All right,
He's
so
removed the joystick
what happens
altogether.
when this thing inevitably
Now that he's up to
malfunctions, right?
speed,
Every time we
let's
get a
increase
wave
the
of new
difficulty, see
technology,
how well
that
Pager
first
can play
batch
with the
isn't
Neuralink.
so good, it's not so great, right? What happens when I let them put that thing in my head and it's the first batch and it malfunctions, right? So I'm
As
trying
you
to
can
make the
see,
sandwich, but
Pager
this thing
is
is going
amazingly
crazy in my
good
head.
at mind
And
control.
instead, I start
He's
pissing on
focused,
my kitchen
and
floor
he's playing
or something
entirely
like
of his
that. I
own
lose
volition.
control of my body functions, right? I can only
It's not
imagine
magic.
things are going
The
wrong
reason
with this
Neuralink
thing.
works
Nothing working
is
out
because it's
correctly.
recording and decoding electrical signals from the brain.
He's pretty good at this game.
He's not,
And
he's
what
nice.
better reward for a monkey than a banana?
Oh,
All right, so have we not
We
seen
still have
Planet of
challenges
the Apes?
spanning many fields of engineering.
Did Elon
So
not
if
see
you're
that
good at
film?
solving hard problems
Missed out, dude.
and want to change
Doesn't
people's
care.
lives, even if you've never worked with the brain before,
Neuralink.com. Guess where I'm going.
I spelled it wrong. I spelled it wrong on Twitter. God damn it! All right,
Wow.
so Elon has been featured on Joe Rogan's podcast a couple times, and like the way he speaks, right, the way he talks on about the Neuralink and the Tesla and the things that it can do, and he just sounds like the guy that's gonna create the iRobot, and then iRobot is gonna grow and turn evil and then try to kill us. So he's got good intentions, but will his good intentions inevitably kill us?
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Elon said it a couple times that he's afraid of AI becoming
right.
and
he's over there developing it.
Yeah, self-evolving. He's worried about like unregulated AI but then he's got Neuralink and
yeah.
So he's talked about it before too. Like I heard Justice say it. At first it would help paraplegics, but eventually like it would be able to be used to do other things like instead of your phone being in your hand, we would communicate with our minds and like some altered carbon stuff,
Yeah.
So
on the website, right? They're essentially they're currently trying to get like public support with this. They're they have an option to join the team and like I'm assuming get into stock or something. So they're trying to get like public support with it. I'm assuming it's so that way they can go to Congress and be like, hey, look how many people want this. You should do it, right?
Would you? Okay, so here's a philosophical question. No, but
no, I would not.
But you can't say you wouldn't yet, right? I haven't asked the actual question.
Chances are, but go ahead.
If we lived in a society where your body was but a means of like it was a level in a game, right? Like if you could upgrade your body, kind of like altered carbon, where your body is just it's just what you're wearing at that point, right? It's another outfit. Would you would you do it? I would. I would. I can't, like the cynic in me would I want to live forever, and I'm not going to lie to myself and say that I don't.
Like that.
I
mean, I think it depends. Like, if I could turn my arm into like a samurai sword, that'd be pretty lit. I'd do that, or something like that. I don't know.
Can I ask you guys a question, right?
abilities like that, but I mean, like for instance, like if the richer you were, like the more abilities that you could program into your body. Like you could be
like kind of like cyborg, turn myself into cyborg a little bit.
You could have like assassin like power. Like you could be like, okay, I want to upgrade my body and I want to have the ability to hit a target from 2 miles away. I want to have extreme accuracy. I want to be Deadshot, basically. And,
yeah, I'd do it. Yeah. So you said Deadshot. That was the sell. All right, cool. If I can be Deadshot, absolutely, yeah.
So look, right? If I may, so their whole selling point, right? It says our devices are designed to give people the ability to communicate more easily via text or speech synthesis, meaning the paralyzed, right? To follow their curiosity on the web or to express their creativity through photography, art, or writing apps. Now, to my understanding, we already have technology or whatever for those that are paralyzed in different ways, and for them to communicate and write things down. Prime example being Stephen Hawking, right? Every thought he's ever had in his life was published, written down. He spent his entire life doing it, and he's 100% paralyzed, can't even speak. So what they're selling, first of all, we can already do, and this isn't necessary. We can already do these things without them throwing a chip in your brain. And two, the most extreme of scenarios would somebody require this to be able to speak or think or use the internet or use whatever. So their selling point is very it's like the harm is all the way the hell up here at the top of the Empire State Building, and the benefits are dirt level, so right. I couldn't imagine how anybody could be on board with this.
Joe Rogan experience.
I want to actually.
Let's talk about what you can talk about to what Neuralink is, because the last time you were here, we really couldn't discuss it. And then there was
I hear it.
A press release, something that sort of
Sure.
outlined. That happened quite a bit after the last time you were here. So what exactly?
Where you can hear that?
How do you do what happens if someone ultimately does get a Neuralink installed? What will take place?
Well, for version 1 of the device, it would be it basically implanted in your skull. So, but it would be flush with your skull. So you basically take out a chunk of skull, put the Neuralink device in there. You put the electrode. You'd insert the electrode threads very carefully into the brain, and then you stitch it up, and you wouldn't even know that somebody has it. So then it can interface basically anywhere in your brain. So it could be something that helps cure, say, eyesight, like returns your eyesight, even if you've like lost your optic nerve type of thing.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Hearing, obviously. I mean, pretty much anything
wild.
Where that it could, in principle, fix almost anything that is wrong with the brain. And it could
it's too calm about
restore
limb
functionality. So if you've got
interface
into the motor cortex and then implant,
but
that's like a microcontroller in your muscle groups. You could then create a sort of a neural shunt that restores somebody who's a quadriplegic to full functionality, like they can walk around, be normal.
Yeah. So.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's like a monkey talking.
Yeah. What?
Better.
Whoa.
I mean, with
he's
like
a
like the
you know what I mean?
$6 billion man.
Absolute
Although these days
fool
that would
in comparison.
that's pretty much.
Elon, I love Joe. Joe's such a good guy.
$6 billion man.
Yeah.
So
man.
the hole would be small. How big would the hole be?
The future,
you have to drill and then
what's going to be possible is beyond me, and I don't know, man. I don't think we should all say that we wouldn't do it.
Right.
Don't lie to yourself, because I'm not. I'd put the thing in my head.
He said I'd do it.
It is what it is, right? I'd put it in my head.
I'm so disappointed.
Came back for the no.
I'm so disappointed in you.
I'd put it in my head, man.
Well, you know, actually, I'm
I
kind
can
of
live
glad
stream without any of this.
I'm glad you would, so I can see how it works out. I can watch you slowly deteriorate, and then be like, all right, maybe I'll do it as long as you survive.
All right, so our final topic of the day is going to be Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4. So Justice, if you want to take off for like 10 minutes.
Yes. Well, is that our final topic?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me just say
watch it.
Yeah. Let me just say good night, and then I'll throw it on. I'll go watch it, and then maybe we can have a second conversation about it later. Listen, guys, I love you so much. Thank you for joining us. I have to take off because of spoilers. I'm way behind on Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I refuse to allow it to be spoiled for me. So I love you. Thank you for joining. You already know the drill around here. If you like me, if you hate me, let me know. Like, follow, subscribe. You guys know how the internet works. We love you. Everything we do for you, for the culture. Holla. Till next time.
All right. See you later, man.
Peace.
Oh, that says Jack, but that's okay, right?
Right.
Do you mind being Jack for right now?
That's all right. I'll be Jack.
All right, cool. Wait, what does this one say? Yeah, same thing.
Producer.
Yeah, so you're gonna be Jack today. All right, cool. So listen. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
They went there, man.
Some pretty dark stuff going on. Some pretty dark stuff happening at the end. So I want to talk about the episode in general, right? So the episode in general, I thought was probably one of the better executed episodes so far, including WandaVision, right? Out of all the Disney Plus episodes, I think this episode, it had a lot going on in it, but it felt like Marvel, right? It felt like a Marvel story, like
right.
And when I said it to you the other day about John Walker and his motivations and you could see his greed was his jealousy of Steve Rogers, right?
Yep.
He was never going to be as good at being Captain America because he was human, and he felt that he was limited in his capabilities because of it.
Right. Well, and they have that conversation, John and Lamar, at that little, I don't know if a little bar or whatever. They're just talking, but they talk about that. It's you look at Carly and what the serum did to her and all that, but then the opposite, you look at Steve, and that really attracts John. He's like, it did the opposite of what it did to Steve. It made him this
because
great guy.
Battlestar brings it up. No. So John Walker brings it up to Battle. His name's Battlestar, I believe. Yeah.
Battlestar,
What is his name?
Lamar Hoskins, I think.
Lamar Hoskins, yeah. So look, they're having a conversation about it. So what happens is they do finally track down Carly, and Falcon goes in to try to talk to her because as we knew, when we first met Sam, he was talking to wounded soldiers or soldiers with PTSD and kind of talking them down from and talking them back into life, back into society. So he says, let me go talk to this girl, right? Let me go talk to her and see what I can do. And John Walker, being the arrogant, like, I really don't like him. I don't like him, but I'm not supposed to like him.
Right, exactly.
I don't think we're supposed to like him in that sense. And he the 10 minutes is too much, right? He can't wait any longer. So he rushes in to try to arrest Carly. And, from there, we see kind of things kind of crumble. And, in a couple, and it goes to show you that this is why Steve picked Falcon, picked Anthony Mackie's character to be the next Captain America, because he's not. You see what the super soldier serum does to certain people. Like, even if they're actually a good person, like 3 what? I believe John Walker had 3 like medal honorable medal. Yeah. So he's technically a good person, right? But you see what the serum does to him. So Steve knows that. Steve knows that he was a special case, right?
Right.
and not every. So what would happen to Falcon if Falcon did take the serum? Would he go from being a good guy to a bad guy? Who knows?
Yeah.
But, he chose Sam for a certain reason, and we see that with Sam's intentions and Sam's like when Sam and Battlestar are fighting, we see how fragile they are. Right? They're using fists and kicks to fight, and then right next door, Bucky and these flag smashers are going at it with super soldier on super soldier, right?
Yep.
And we see the difference in the fighting. And
even when John Walker takes on the guards from Wakanda, he looks up at Lamar and he goes, "They're not even super soldiers."
That's where he breaks. By the way, you can see it, right? You can see him break at that point. He's sitting on the ground, defeated by. And not to say this in a bad way, but he just got defeated by a human woman, right? And he doesn't really know that these women are amongst the
best trained warriors in the world.
So the way he sees it is he just got beat up by not even a super soldier beat him up, right? Like put him on his ass, not even just beat him up, but put him on his ass, and with minimal ease.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean. That was a really interesting scene, and that I mean, just kind of switching, but because I probably know where you're headed with the serum and everything, was to see also too this relationship with the guards from Wakanda and Bucky. They feel incredibly just like, hey, this is the guy that killed our king, and we don't care what your means, if he's a means to ends, whatever. This is like the ultimate slap in the face, basically.
Exactly.
So that's really interesting to see Bucky also have to, because these are people that freed him. The episode opens, with that moment.
Yeah. And I thought so. Like the Justice was worried about this in the beginning, like them trying to use too much of humor.
Mm-hmm.
I think the humor comes in like just the right amount of doses, right? Mm-hmm. Like for instance, when Battlestar and Captain America, right? John Walker's Captain America, when they're taking on the Wakandan High Guard, they're kind of like sitting back, like, we should probably step in. Like, when should we do that? They're like, you go, John, you go. And like so like there's like hints of humor, and I think they're inserted in the right amount of portions. Zemo is kind of stealing the show for me too.
He's badass. Love Zemo.
Zemo's really is like, when he's on screen, he's got this presence, and him and Bucky's relationship, and then Sam and Zemo's relationships polar opposite. And, really, really well done. So
that he's really gotten in everybody's, not just the characters in the show, but like I think even in the audience's heads, it's really like, what's
side is he on?
Right. What's his motivation here? What's he?
Right. And we get faced with that scenario when he. So this will bring us to that point. We end up Falcon and Bucky go to meet Carly. And they realize at that time, with the help of Sharon Carter, that it's a setup, that they're trying to separate John Walker and Battlestar and Sam and Bucky so that they could take Captain America out, because he's a symbol. He's a symbol of hope, and he's a symbol also of oppression. And that's the way they see it, right? The Shield has so much history that you can really see it either way. It's either a good symbol or a bad symbol, depending on what side you're on. And, so they want to kill Captain America, and because killing Sam, people would be upset, but they would move on with their lives. You kill Captain America, that's sending a message. So that's what they're attempting to do, the Flag Smashers. So their intentions are getting more sinister as the series goes on as well. Whether they're meaning it or not.
And then Carly threatens, Sam's sister,
Yes. Without exactly threatening her, she threatens her. So then we get this pretty cool scene with them chasing each other, right? So John Walker and Battlestar run into a building, armed and ready. They're searching for the Flag Smashers, but the Flag Smashers already know they're coming, and it's all been set up that way. And they Battlestar goes up the stairs, and John Walker stays downstairs, and they get Battlestar, and they tie that mother, they tie him up pretty good.
Yeah.
And the next couple. So then we don't know at this point that John Walker had taken the serum. I don't think, right? No, we don't know. We don't know that
we did actually, because he bent that metal.
No, that's afterwards.
Okay.
So we haven't even got to that point yet. So
okay, cool.
So when they enter the house, we don't know it yet.
Okay.
We don't know, but then he like smashes through a door, and you're kind of like, wait a second.
Right.
Was it the shield, or was that
right?
And in your mind, he ends up we actually skipped over this part. So the fight previously with Carly led them to the serum was all over the ground.
Right.
There was like 8 vials of serum, and Zemo like shoots Carly to get and then the serum spills everywhere, or like the vials spill everywhere. And then in that moment, you think Zemo's gonna grab a serum and like keep it for himself, right? Because he's the villain. But no, he starts shit stomping them, right? One by one. But he doesn't. Captain America comes in and knocks him out with the shield.
Yeah, shield to the
dome piece, and then John Walker is faced with the same. Like, there's one left.
There's one, yeah.
And he puts it in his pocket because he doesn't know what he really, really, really is envious of Steve Rogers. And then we get to the point where they enter the house. So we at this point we know he has the serum, but we don't know what he's done with it yet.
Exactly.
And then he gets in a fight with one of the Flag Smashers, and he bends a pole, and you're like, and Sam says it. Sam's acting as the audience at that point. Sam's like,
what have you done?
What did you do?
Yeah.
And man, they just they continue. And then a fight happens between the Flag Smashers and the heroes. That's when Sam and Battlestar are fighting with everybody, and then John Walker's fighting, and then in the chaos, Carly kind of flicks. You see her do it with absolute ease too, and like that it goes to show you, like, it reminds you of what people like Battlestar or Sam face every time they go into battle. They're just humans. They're fragile, right? And she just accidentally hits him into a pole, but she hits him pretty good though.
Well, it kind of reminded me like the Amazing Spider-Man Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, so she hits him, and she definitely didn't mean to kill him, but she hit him into like a cement pillar, and his neck just either snapped or his skull cracked open. I don't know, but Battlestar's death sends John Walker into this absolute
rage.
Yeah, absolute rage, and you see him really change pretty quickly, and that's where it gets interesting. John Walker jumps out the window, chases him down, gives us the Christian Bale Batman line, "Where is she?"
Well, and even that scene where he jumps out the window, that it reminded me of that scene was a kind of a flashback redone scene of when when he was chasing Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
It's very, very similarly done.
Yeah, there was definitely some shots, especially the one we're about to talk about. There was some similarities in the way they filmed it to show you that, they're trying to portray this, like, look what happens. So in like a shocking twist, like I said, Battlestar gets knocked into a pole so hard that he breaks his neck, and he passes away, right? Yeah. Leading, a John Walker super soldier to cross the line, and cross a line that Cap really never crossed. And he takes a life in like the most brutal of ways. And the way they did it was reminiscent of how Cap smashes Tony's suit in Civil War, showing a dark comparison of good and evil. And then after that, with a shot of a bloodied shield, it really shows like what John Walker is now. And it took so John Walker decapitates one of these super soldiers, and like everybody in the world, like not everybody in the world, but
Basically, because everyone's got their phone.
Everyone's recording it.
Yeah.
The world. That's why the episode is called "The World Is Watching," and,
right?
Or everybody's watching, or something like that. But it was pretty, like this shot right here.
That shot.
Look at this with the blood on where he decapitates him. Woo! And this is him doing it. So there's a comparison right here, right?
Wow.
Look at there's Cap, and the funny thing about when Civil War is the way they filmed it. The way we first see Cap like lifting the shield up was similar, right? We think, oh my God, is Cap gonna? No, he's not gonna decapitate Tony. But no, he smashes the shield into his his chest piece and disables his shield. I mean, his armor. But John Walker uses the shield, the same exact shield, to decapitate somebody and kill them. And that's when we get this, and then Bucky and Sam are just looking on, and you can see the people in the background with the recordings, and Sam and Bucky are just like, "Damn, man, you did it. You took it way too far this time." And John Walker, you can see it in his eyes that he did something wrong. He really did. He messed up. He really did. He messed up, and it was just a brutal scene.
Yep.
It was brutal.
I mean, yeah, I'll say like you said. I mean, I'm definitely happy to see Marvel start to cater to this type of stuff. Because look, I love the Marvel stuff. I really do. It's all fantastic. But it is, still, even with WandaVision, feels very, this is kind of, it's for everybody. It's for kids and families and everybody. And so it's cool to see them, kind of cater to this audience and this subject, and especially with the relevance of what's going on in the world right now, So it's it definitely got me. I'm hooked now. Like I cannot now. I want to see, all right, what's gonna happen here, and how they're gonna deal with this.
And so now all the super soldier serum is gone.
Right.
As far as we know, as an audience, as the audience, and as far as we know, all the super soldier serum is now either destroyed or taken.
Yep.
And John Walker, and then what's left of the Flag Smashers are the last super soldiers that will be created through this way. And,
right.
So what's going to happen to John Walker? Now that everybody knows that he's a savage killer.
Right.
That's the way he's going to be portrayed, as a savage killer.
Yep.
So in this dude's death, right, this Flag Smasher that got decapitated, in his death, the Flag Smashers
were validated. They were validated.
Yeah. They ended up get what they wanted because they'd taken a symbol of hope and brought it to the brink, and it crossed the line. Right. And the world, they kind of in a better way for the Flag Smashers too, because now the world doesn't just lose their idol; they watch their idol become a villain, in a sort of way, in a brutal way. Because that video isn't like, we don't get to see like the head come off, but I mean, that video would show, like, if this guy in the background here, right? So where is it? Like, see this guy, the Chinese guy,
right.
His video would definitely show the head come off that guy.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So
I mean. It's kind of, we talked about it yesterday a little bit. I think this really now sets him up to be prime for that. Maybe Hydra, Captain America, or whatever. Secret empire that I think that they could be going towards.
Yeah, and I definitely I'm wondering if by the end of the series we see the shield returned to Sam or Bucky.
Probably. Well, we still haven't seen that scene where they're like, going around in the trees from the trailer and stuff. So I'm thinking maybe that's the end. I don't know, but
it could be potentially. Yeah, it could be the end where they're like, Sam is now got the shield again, and he's like, practicing for whatever comes next.
Right.
But John Walker is definitely not going to be Captain America, or he's not going to be the government's Captain America going forward. And where's that going to lead him? Because now he's just a superpowered being. Is he going to get locked away, like Zemo, or and Zemo's in the wind now? Zemo's
right.
gone.
Zemo escaped in the Wakanda fight.
Zemo Pablo Escobar out the bathroom. And I'm really digging Zemo, man. I dig his scenes.
I do too. He's he's a great actor. The guy Daniel Bruhl.
Daniel Bruhl. Yeah.
I mean, like he he plays the character in such a cool, interesting manner. You don't know his intentions. You don't know. You just can't put your finger on what this guy really is doing or what he wants, And sometimes he say like that conversation he has with Sam, he kind of takes a second after Sam tells him, yeah, man, well, there's also, tells him, how he's doing things in a bad way. And he's like, so he's an interesting character to see, and develop,
Yeah, for sure. And so I'm looking forward to. So I was thinking if you and I maybe wanted to do on Thursday night, we could stay up maybe and do like a watch party on Twitch for it.
Yeah.
For the last 2 episodes.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because I mean they're really like, it's getting to a point where it's really good.
Right. Exactly. I think this week, like I said, it took me. The first 3 episodes are cool and stuff, but like this last one was like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah, it was fire. As our buddy ACS would say. So so here's the deal, guys. Tomorrow morning we're gonna do that finally. I think maybe we should push it up though, just in case, to 9 a.m. and that would be 6 a.m. for you. So it's not super early for you. I mean, it's still it's super early, but
yeah, I'm good. It works for me.
My body definitely needed a reset, and I've got it now. So
good.
But I don't know why my alarm didn't go off this morning. I sounded like Justice,
right?
With the high school excuses.
Right.
But it was actually set. It was set 100% for 6:30. I don't know what happened. So whatever, man. But tomorrow we'll do the morning show. We'll talk more. Tomorrow is Monday, and then this Saturday, Taylor from the Culture Nerd will join us. And that's it for the planned stuff this week. Like as far as what we're doing or what I know for a fact is on the books. And after tomorrow we'll know more. So any parting words?
Go check out Berserker if you like comics. This is gonna be my shout out. Keanu Reeves' new comic book from Boom Studios. Really good. Yeah, go check it out. That was gonna be my one shout out, but that's it.
All right, man. Well, guys, as always, thank you for joining us tonight. I know Sunday nights are weird. Sunday nights are bad analytically wise, but so make sure that you do like, subscribe, and share the show so your friends and family can watch, as well as leave a comment and become a Patreon member. That's only $5 a month, and you get access to a couple exclusivos, as Dave the Film Junkie would say. And we're brought to you by Bonks Bar and Showcase Cinemas. So head out, support your local theater, even if it's not Showcase. Get out there and support your local theaters. And we will see you tomorrow morning for the morning pod. Finally. So with that being said, guys,